Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a video and cover the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which people seem to be confused about. Where do these come from? Where are they? What do they say? Even I'm confused about the provenance. So I decided to unconfuse myself and therefore hopefully unconfuse a lot of other people as well. So now the Emerald Tablets of Thoth are supposed to be several tablets of either emerald or some sort of green stone. They were supposedly authored by Thoth, and they contain wealth of advanced ancient knowledge that predates civilization. These tablets are generally referenced by a lot of notable people. Most notably, I'll rattle off a few names. You got Billy Carson. Speaks of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth a lot. They show up on the TV show Ancient Aliens a lot. Armando May, the preeminent researcher working on the Khafre pyramid scan of the recent fame. A lot of his books references the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Also, David Icke, and if you don't know who he is, you need to get up on your reptilians, because that comes into this later. So, let's just say that you want to see the original Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and at the same time, time travel has been invented. So, you decide to take a trip, let's say to Old Kingdom Egypt, and you want to see the pyramids, at least, if not being built, what the heck they looked like back then. So you head to the terminal, travel back in time. After a layover in the Renaissance, you arrive. And you figure while you're there, maybe you could get a line on these emerald tablets. Supposedly come from ancient Egypt. So you find the biggest, baddest temple in the nicest city, and you find some learned old Sesh-per-Ankhs, which is the what the Egyptians called priests and magicians. It means scribe of the house of life. And you go up and hey, where can I see the Emerald Tablets of Thoth? And he's going to look at you and go, what are the Emerald Tablets, and who is this Thoth guy you're talking about? Well, that's weird. Think Thoth, Thoth. No, I'm not ringing a bell, buddy. The god with the ibex head, the scribe, the god of knowledge. Oh, you mean Jehudi. Oh, crap, forgot. The ancient Egyptians didn't call him Thoth. Their name for him was Jehudi. This is another thing that the Greeks changed, and it somehow got into the world. The Greeks changed the names of everything. Nobody's been able to explain to me why. So you go, okay, the Emerald Tablets of Jehudi. And you go, no Emerald Tablets. Never heard of it, buddy. Hey, if you find them, let me know. I want to see them too. You know, this is puzzling. Maybe you turn back and go, how about Hermes Trismegistus? And be like, can you speak ancient Egyptian for me? Never heard of that either. Okay. So this weighs on your mind, and you figure maybe I should do some research and see exactly where I need to go to see these ancient tablets. So you travel back through time, and when you get back, after listening to the staff apologize profusely for losing your luggage at the Battle of Carthage, you go home and you get in front of your computer, and you look around and you find that there are actually two different stories. So if you type in the oldest mention of Emerald Tablets, I'll just hit the mic again, you'll find out, and I'm going to go with, this appears several different places, but I'm going to go with Oxford University. This is a article written by Georgiana Hedison on 2018 giving the history of the Emerald Tablet. Okay? So, this is your earliest mention of an Emerald Tablet, and it has to do with Hermes Trismegistus. Okay? And this was mentioned in the 7th and 9th century Arab treatise called Kitab Balanius al-Hakim fi al-La'al. I don't speak Arabic, can't you tell? What that means is the Book of Wise Belinus on the Causes. And Belinus claimed to have found an entrance to a secret chamber in the city of Tyana in Greece and found a very old rotted corpse sitting there holding a emerald tablet. Now, this emerald tablet is mentioned in this Arab treatise, and it was translated and put in there, and then this has been translated from Arabic to Latin and everything else. It's an alchemical text from alchemy. And the several big names in alchemy have mentioned this in their writings. I'm not going to say them all. Big explosion on this emerald tablet in the Renaissance, but most notably, even Sir Isaac Newton wrote about this tablet of Hermes Trismegistus. And wouldn't you like to know what it says? I'm going to tell you. It's one paragraph, one tablet. It says, and this is a translation from 1928 by Steele and Singer. And it says, "True it is, without falsehood, certain and most true. That which is above is like to that which is below, and that which is below is like to that which is above, to accomplish the miracles of one thing. And as all things were by contemplation of one, so all things arose from this one thing by a single act of adaptation. The father thereof is the sun, the mother the moon. The wind carried in its womb, the earth is the nurse thereof. It is the father of all works and wonders throughout the whole world. The power thereof is perfect. If it be cast on the earth, it will separate the element of earth from that of fire, the subtle form from the gross." Sorry, it's from. "With great sagacity it doth ascend gently from earth to heaven. Again it doth descend to earth, and uniteth in itself the force from things superior and things inferior. Thus thou wilt possess the glory of the brightness of the whole world, and all obscurity will fly far from thee. This thing is the strong fortitude of all strength, for it overcometh every subtle thing, and doth penetrate every solid substance. Thus was this world created. Hence will there be marvelous adaptations achieved, of which manner is this. For this reason I am called Hermes Trismegistus, because I hold 3 parts of the wisdom of the whole world, that which I had to say about the operation of soul is completed." That's the one tablet of Hermes Trismegistus. So that's going back to the 7th to 9th century. And you're thinking to yourself, hey, but guy, this isn't the emerald tablets I've heard about. This is one little thing. And we're talking about 42 tablets written by Thoth and all the... Okay, this is a separate story. This is a different story. This is a story from alchemy. It's been passed through the alchemy tradition as they look for the philosopher's stone to extend life or to transmute lead to gold. Things like that. By the way, the root word of alchemy is Kemet, Egypt, just like chemistry, it stems from alchemy. So it's an Egyptian tradition, I guess, for alchemy. And that's fine. But you'll realize a couple things about the emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus. It said the original tablet that was written about, the language carved into the tablet was Arabic. That means it is neither ancient Egyptian nor is it ancient. And 2, Hermes Trismegistus, nobody in ancient Egypt knows who that is. They just say he was an old ancient Egyptian sage. But Hermes Trismegistus is clearly Greek. Okay, so, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for these 42 tablets that contain all this information, supposedly written by Thoth. And I tell you what, we want to go on what we're being described. I'll look on Ancient Origins website and give you the quote on there from Armando May of the Khafre Pyramid Scan fame. It says, quote, "And the creator of the Emerald Tablet has been provided in myth as the Egyptian god Thoth, who Armando May writes, divided his knowledge into 42 plates of emerald, codifying the great scientific principles ruling the universe. The legend tells that after the gods' fall, the hermetic tablets were cleverly hidden so that no human being may find them. Only Thoth, on his return to that dimension, was able to recover the mysterious book. So, we need to find, where does that story come from? So you need to type in something different. You need to specifically research, when does the Emerald Tablets of Thoth first appear? And it's a very easy search. It first appears in a book published in about 1953, maybe the late 40s. I'm not exactly sure. And it's called The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. And it's written by Maurice Doreal. Okay? So, real quick, let's find out who Maurice Doreal is. Because this is pretty late in history. He was born, his real name is Claude Doggins. He was born in 1898 and he died in 1963. He was an American occultist and founder of the Brotherhood of the White Temple, okay, in Denver, and he was big into theosophy. He also claimed that in 1931 in LA he met two Atlanteans who took him to a cave underneath Mount Shasta. Okay. And then he developed theories about an underground reptilian race. All right. So, I know there's some red flags here, but you know what? Just because he might be a little bit wacko doesn't mean he can't write a good book. Oh, if you want to go into more about him, I could read it, but just, all right, I will. You twisted my arm. So not only did he meet the Atlanteans and discover theories of the underground reptilians, he combined all these into a theory. In the second half of the 20th century, the serpent races would ally with the Antichrist. He also believed there were three different types of flying saucers, one piloted by these reptilians. He also, early 50s, relocated the Brotherhood to Sedalia, Colorado, where he predicted that nuclear war would happen in 1953, and it didn't. But that's fine. Very little to do with what we're talking about. But he did write this book called The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. And, well, it's about, I don't want to spoil it for you because you could still buy it on Amazon. It's still in print. It's, in a nutshell, tells the story of how Thoth was a high priest of Atlantis. He survived the cataclysm, ended up in prehistoric Egypt, wrote all his knowledge on these 42 tablets, and jump-started civilization in ancient Egypt. There were also some aliens involved and some reptilians. Okay. Now, where did he get his reference? This information? Well, according to him, he claimed that the text of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean is the translation of a set of tablets he found in the Great Pyramid of Giza in 1925. Which nobody but him has seen, but we'll come back to that. And the book had 15 tablet chapters. And they had poems that cover a bunch of topics: alchemy, spirituality, and the nature of the universe. Also, the story from the Arab treatise from the 7th and 9th century is also incorporated into this book. So now they're related. Okay? Even though, so now he's related that Hermes is actually Thoth. We'll get to that in a minute. And so there's 15 chapters, and real quick, I'll tell you what they are. The history of Thoth the Atlantean, the halls of Amenti, the key of wisdom, the spaceborn, the dweller of Unal, the key of magic, the seven lords, the key of mysteries, the key of freedom of space, the key of time, the key to above and below, the law of cause and effect, and the Key of Prophecy, the Keys of Life and Death, Atlantis, and the Secret of Secrets. Okay. So, that's what we're talking about. This is a book, late 40s, early 50s, published by this Maurice Doreal, also known as Claude Doggins. Nothing else before that other than the original one tablet of Hermes Trismegistus that's talked about in alchemical tests. Okay. So, like I said, there are actually two different stories. You have the original one, which is one and this, which is 42 tablets with all this fantastic information that the author apparently found in the Great Pyramid in 1925. So that's why this information never appeared before he published it. Okay. So now you have, Billy Carson talks about this, and you can read this book and find all this stuff spelled out. And this is brought up in alternative history in a lot of parts, not all of it, left and right. Like I said, Billy Carson. Well, we all know Billy Carson. Ancient Aliens, and they use this to play the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon between, Thoth is Hermes, who is Idris, who is Enoch, therefore Enoch built the pyramid, right? And then you got Armando May, who writes about this, and it's no surprise that he thinks that the structure under the Khafre pyramid is the halls of Amenti mentioned in the tablets of Thoth, because the ancient Egyptian version of the halls of Amenti would not be there. It's a place where the dead go to get judged, and it's all the way in the west. It's not underground, and the living can't go there. So, what does it boil down to? Where are the emerald tablets? Well, I tell you what. Let me answer it with a riddle. Dr. Zahi Hawass, Indiana Jones, Emperor Palpatine, and the tablets of Thoth all arrive at a 4-way and stop at the same time. Who goes through the intersection first? It's Dr. Zahi Hawass. Why? Because the other 3 don't actually exist. This book that Maurice Doreal wrote is a work of fiction. I said it. I'll say it out loud. I have no books that are in danger of nobody buying. I'm not a big channel. I'm not a known personality. I'm not on TV. I don't care if any of them come after me. It doesn't matter. This isn't even my livelihood. But I'll be the one to have the nuts to say it out loud. This is a fictional book. It's total fiction. What the heck is the book called again? The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean is a fictional book written in the 20th century by a guy who apparently may not have been all there. Therefore, Billy Carson, the TV show Ancient Aliens, Armando May, and David Icke when he's talking about reptilians, they're all referencing a work of fiction. This is like referencing Lord of the Rings to prove your theory that orcs actually existed. Or referencing Star Wars, say, to bolster your argument that Bigfoot are actually Wookiees. Even though the story sounds good and it sounds real. Now, of course, there's going to be someone to attack me. If you want to believe that this is a real thing, that's fine. That's totally fine. I'm just telling you, it's fiction. And I've said this to people, and they said, well, he channeled this, or he found... Where are these tablets that he translated from? Why didn't he keep them? Did he even go to Egypt in 1925? Doesn't look like he actually did. Okay, so if you want to believe it, that's fine. But the rest of us, not real. If they want to attack me, fine. They want whatever. These are the same people that are referencing a fictional book and then calling mainstream researchers frauds. Really. That's just my opinion. Please deposit your hate in the comments below. I don't mind. Everybody is welcome. I don't care if you agree or not. You are welcome here. Feel free to disagree. If you absolutely are sure that that book is absolute 100% proof, I need actual evidence. Tell me he channeled him or anything. Mm-mm. As far as we know, this emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus in the alchemical text, which doesn't appear to even relate in any way that's to anything that's in that book, well, that could still be a story, but it comes from an actual object. At least somebody made it. But we can look at that and go, that's not ancient Egyptian. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thanks for stopping by. If you've already left already, I'm sorry. Like I said, opinions, concerns, and hate, please deposit it below. If you want to hear more, because, you know, I do rip on the mainstream too, let me know. Give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me a hate. I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Bye.